This is Desert Homestead Prepping. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications.
So now that we got the chicken coop and the chicken run all done, we got to get this garden cleared out. There is just all kinds of odd and end trash and everything in here. So we're going to haul this out of here, and we're going to set up the water tote over here to catch water. And then we're going to start building some planter boxes out of pallets. So just remember, this garden area this year is not going to be completely filled. We're just going to kind of ease into it, do a little here, a little there, try some things, figure out what works good for our region and our lifestyle, and then go from there. And hopefully next year we'll have a better idea of what works so that we can increase the size and the productivity. So just remember, this year there's a lot of experimenting, and expect that there's going to be plenty of stuff that doesn't work out. So yeah, that's what I'm going to get doing. I'm going to move this out of the way. We'll get this tote set up and go from there. So I started moving this tote over here, and there was all this dry algae that was inside that tote. And I just started thinking, you know, I really need to black out that tote before I put it in place, because that algae just builds up in there and clogs off the ports, causes all kinds of problems. So I really need to do it right if I'm going to do it. So let me pull it over here, and we'll take it apart and wrap it up like a big giant Christmas present, put it right back in the cage. I try to do the more solid edges, you know, I try to do the seams where I'm doing all the taping on the bottom and the top, because the weight of this on the bottom there is just going to hold this together really well. And then on the top, where I'm going to cut for the hole for the lid, we'll be able to help fasten it in place. So I'll show you more detail of what's going on once I cut that hole. Okay, now let's tip it up. Now right here, we're just gonna barely cut a big enough of a hole to be able to put that spout on there. So then you'll have to reach up in there and open that, but that spout will have a spigot where we can control it. We shouldn't have to reach in there and open that very often. All right. This is the part that's kind of a pain, is getting that back open. All right, we got it open. There we go. Pretty good right there. We'll make a hole just big enough to be able to plop this right over the top of it. Okay, so you You don't want to cut it too big. You want it to be tight on this sill. Just like that. So I cut it small enough to where you have to stretch it to get it around that sill. Now after that, once you put this in place, it's gonna push it down and it's gonna cinch it down tight. All right, so I'm just gonna put some extra tape on here. This Gorilla Tape is really thick and sticky, so with the heat, it'll actually bond better as time goes by. So now with these, before these were strung through these loops on the plastic tank. So we're not going to do that because we don't want to poke holes in our plastic. It really defeats the purpose of what we're doing. It will allow light in there. So I found that all you have to do is just flip them over like this, and that'll work just fine to be able to just cinch that down. It's not going anywhere anyway, but this is really important so that the cage doesn't start to bow out. So you have to have that side support. All right, pretty much that simple. Not really too complicated. Just pull that thing out, wrap it up like a big birthday present, pop it back in there. Surprisingly, this plastic lasts for a very long time. We did the plastic on those totes probably 3 years ago, and they've been through all kinds of wind and weather and sun, heat and cold. They've lasted for a long time. This plastic is pretty thick. It's 3.5 mils. You can get thicker if you want. I couldn't find anything thicker where we got our plastic, but if there's thicker plastic available, I definitely go as thick as you can. It'll definitely last a lot longer. So yeah, with us, the main thing is any seam has to be taped up because wind will get into every little nook and cranny, and so very important for us to have it all taped up really good. All right, so this is all set. I'm going to put it in its place, get it lined up, get it set up so it can start catching some rainwater. We got this in place, nothing special, just refitted this downspout to be able to fit in there. There is a screen inside here, so I can pop this out, clean the screen, and put it back in place. So we got that. I had to get different pallets that were bigger to be able to fit, you know, so that had a nice secure base. So this is all set and ready to go. We got to get this out of here. So I'm going to pull this out, put it in the truck. We're going to haul this crate over there. We're going to use this crate as a structure to be able to put the tiller in and a few garden tools. And I mean, it's nothing special to look at, but it still is an enclosure that'll work for some of the things we want to keep out of the weather. Then got to get the four-wheeler in here, and we got to level out some of this ground where these chickens have just dug up holes and all kinds of stuff. Try to level this out a bit, and then we'll go from there. My wife's already been in here. She's getting some planting beds set up along the fence. It's looking really great. So very excited. One step at a time, we're getting a little closer.
Make sure you guys come back next time as we get focused on building raised beds for the garden. Catch you guys in the next one.